What is going on, good people? What is going on? I love that music, man. I keep saying that. Cody K, first out the limo. What's going on, my guy? We are kicking it live. Thursday Night Pro Fan Talk. We are here in the business, and the NFL is the gift that keeps on giving, man. It has been nonstop. We got some more news today. Had a couple more signings. We got another former New York Giant. I don't know if Howie is just on a roll or what the situation is, but we got another one. And this one seems to be a pretty good one. Parris Campbell, wide receiver, played with the Colts. So I am sure somewhere down the line, Sirianni and Howie Roseman probably gave a call to Shane Steichen, to verify and vet this guy. But he looks to be pretty good. I like that signing better than I do Devontae Parker, just for the fact that Devontae Parker is, 30, 31? And this guy is 26. So I like that decision. Definitely like that decision. As you can see, my background, I got the SC background because everybody was watching Caleb Williams' workout. So that was funny. Vince, what's going on, my guy? I see you on the Facebooks. So yeah, I was watching the pro day. I think it was yesterday, right? And it was he did what was expected. And my question is, like, when they go to these pro days, what are they expecting to see? from somebody like him who is the projected number one pick. Because think about it, it can only go down. You know what I'm saying? It can only be it can only turn out bad. You can't improve your stock if you're the projected number one pick. It can only go down. Everybody else is chasing you. Now, if Drake May or Penix or whoever else is having their pro day and they throw the ball, out of the zip code, well, then maybe their stock could possibly go up. But my logic is this. What are you going to see during a private workout that is going to make you change your mind one way or the other? What are you going to see in that hour and a half workout, if that long? Like I said, for Caleb Williams, it can only be bad. Tweak something, pull something. My shoulder's not feeling right. All right, I'm going to stop throwing right now. Or do like a Marvin Harrison and I ain't even going to work out on Old State's pro day. I felt kind of bad because he doesn't need to work out, and he's letting everybody know he doesn't need to work out. It is clear in a way he is the best wide receiver in the draft, point period in the paragraph. There's no need to even argue. But I feel bad because a lot of other people that want to work out on his pro day, if he's not going to be there, then the scouts aren't coming. You look at Caleb Williams' pro day, all 32 teams were represented. What do the other 32 teams need to see? 25 of them don't need a quarterback. More than that, probably. So there's only probably 5 or 6 teams realistically, not even that many, that would be interested in Caleb Williams. And again, it comes back to this. What are you going to see in that quick workout that you haven't seen on film already? His stock can only go down in a situation like that. I don't blame Marvin Harrison Jr. one bit. Not at all. He has zero to prove. He has zero to prove. And here's the funny part about stuff like this, because it only applies to people that go to big schools. If you went to a small school and you had an incredible career, and then you don't have such a good, you have a decent combine performance or a decent pro day, then they hold it against you. What's up, Jason? If you come from a huge school and had a decent career, but have an incredible pro day, they think you're all world. They must have missed something on the tape. So there's two different trains of thought. You got the hype train, and they make things a lot more than possibly what it should be. But I'm not going to get mad at Marvin Harrison for not working out. I'm not going to get mad at Caleb Williams did exactly the right thing by not working out at the combine camp in Indianapolis. Absolutely, that was the right decision. Again, he had no benefit. He gets zero benefit from that. He answered, the smartest thing he did was go there, answer some questions, and left it at that. That was the smartest thing he did. He still got to get the FaceTime. He still did the press tour. That didn't exist when I went to the combine. They put you in front of a fake press and you got to answer questions and all of that kind of stuff. That type of stuff didn't exist. That was almost like, to me, that was like when I see that now, I always remember my senior year at Eastern Kentucky, making us go to etiquette class. And I was like, why the hell do we have to go to etiquette class? And I remember our academic advisor, she made us go to that class. She was like, trust me, you're going to need it when you go to banquets and have to speak and all of that kind of stuff. You need this type of stuff. Learn how the table's supposed to be set, which fork to use, all of that kind of corny stuff. At least it was till we thought. And then lo and behold, I get to the Eagles, and what am I doing? I'm going to events and stuff where you got to get dressed up and have a formal dinner and stuff like that. And it's like, son of a bitch, she was right. So that's to me, that's what the combine is for certain players. You show up, you answer the questions, and you keep it moving. And I'm gonna have my pro day in a couple days, couple weeks. And he did. It worked out to his favor. He threw a couple of long balls. Looked pretty. Show off the arm strength. I think he missed 2 of them, but nobody's going to be 100%. And even if they are, you're running on air, so you're really not learning anything. And that's the thing with the combine and the workouts. You running on air. You're not under pressure. You're not. They just want to see what you can do as you're back there relaxed. But again, if they ain't figured it out from what you put down on tape, like what's the point? What's the point? You look at Anthony Richardson from Florida. He really wasn't getting too much of a look. He was a physical specimen, and he was fast and everything, and they want to call him the new age Cam Newton for obvious reasons. But plenty of chinks in the armor, throwing motion. He didn't start a lot of games, so he didn't have a lot of experience. I only think he had the experience of maybe one season and a couple of games the previous season. But I don't think he had 15 games as a starter at Florida. And that was a knock on him until he went to the combine, jumped out the gym, ran a ridiculous time, throwing the ball all over the place. And, his vertical leap was off the charts. So for somebody like him, who was not projected to be a top pick, his prospects went through the roof because of that workout. So it can benefit you, and it can hold you back in certain situations. So, and now, because there's so much press and social media and all of that kind of stuff, now you got a whole outside environment of people that nitpick everything you do. It's almost like, you remember when remember that golf tournament where somebody made a mistake in the golf tournament and the on-site referees missed it, and somebody called in that was watching it on TV. Literally a fan somehow called in and told him of the error that they missed. And I was like, well, that's on the refs. That's on the umpires. They missed it. Benefit to that player. I thought that was awful when they did that, but so it's the same thing now. When you got social media, regardless of what you do, you got a whole huge contingency of people, and all they want to do is tear you down. And that's pretty much what they do, especially if they don't like you. Especially if they don't like you. Look at the guy up in New York that's on the radio with Tiki Barber and all of the mess that he's doing now. Now he come out and Eagles fans are morons and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, we say the same thing about you, man. We saying the same thing. So it ain't no different. Just don't get thin-skinned on us. So it is what it is, man. But he had a good workout. I thought it was much ado about nothing. Like I just said, man, y'all already know what he is capable of. And if the Chicago Bears decide not to draft him, then they're stupid. They're stupid. So it is what it is. He's going to go to Chicago. Now, what I will say is many a quarterback have had great workouts. And then nothing happens because it's a different ball game when you get to this league, man. It's it's a whole different set of circumstances when you playing on Sundays. And I was looking at NFL, the NFL Network is showing. They were showing. What year was that? What year was that draft? They were showing old draft day footage. What year was that? Hold on for a second. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna show you. They were showing the 2018 draft. 2018 draft. And it was funny because who was the first pick? Baker Mayfield. Who was the second pick? Saquon Barkley to the Giants. Who was the third pick? Sam Darnold. And you can go down Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. Josh Allen was that. Roquan Smith. This is pretty good. Mike McGlinchey, Josh Rosen, Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Darren Payne, Marcus Davenport, Colton Miller, Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds went in the first round? Did not know that. Derwin James, Jair Alexander, Leighton Vander Esch. Wow. He just hung it up. Frank Ragnow, I don't even think he's in the league anymore. Billy Price, Rashawn Evans, Isaiah Wynn, DJ Moore, Hayden Hurst. Is he still playing? Calvin Ridley, Rashad Penny was that draft. Terrell Edmonds, Mike Hughes, Sony Michel, Lamar Jackson. Yep. Last pick. Sitting with his mom at the table, about to fall asleep. That's funny. So you just never know how things are going to work out because everybody just knew that Sam Darnold was that dude. And I'm still trying to figure out, how did Sam Darnold get drafted before Josh Allen? And it was all because of the school that he went to. Because I always wondered about that. A defensive package, what's the difference between defensive package? If you can read a defense, you can read a defense. If you study film, you know that safety runs a 4.6. You know that cornerback runs a 4.3. You know who's fast and who's got good hips. So the school you went to shouldn't matter. If you're playing against good competition, so be it. But it's not equal. It's not fair. And they give too much credence to these guys that are going to these big schools, and you missing a lot of good players. So just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, we got two more. We got another Giant, and then we got Tyler Hall, a cornerback, slot corner from Las Vegas. Now, the reason why it's so important that he is a slot corner is because does that mean that CJ GJ is going to be at safety? or are they bringing this guy in so he can compete for the slot spot? But what's the other guy? What's the guy that we forgot about? And I know we forgot about him because I always forget his name. What's the guy we got from Indianapolis that got suspended? What's up, Dave? I'll see you on the Facebooks, man. I appreciate you. Dave, what's the name of the dude that we signed from the guy that was suspended for gambling? Was that Isaiah? Is Isaiah Rogers? Gotcha. Because he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty good player. It's a shame that he wasted a year. Speaking of wasted a year, and I've said this before, and just, I will say it again. I don't think Zach McPherson is going to come back, Vaughn. I don't think Zach McPherson is coming back. But lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, Rashad Penny, wasted a year. Yeah, I don't think Zach is coming back because I'm looking at where did I see that? Because he's an unrestricted free agent, I believe. I think he is a unrestricted free agent. Hold on for a second. Hope I don't lose you. I had a page up with all of the Eagles signings. All of the, dang it, it was on the Eagles website too, and I lost the page. But it was the all of the new signings. Dang it, I lost it. I don't know if he's going to get cut, but I know. You know what? What school did he go to? He's from Cincinnati. Hold on for a second. I didn't realize he was from the Natty. I didn't realize he was a homeboy. I might have to get to a game just so I can meet this dude. He is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Isaiah Rogers. Wikipedia. Isaiah Rogers. Colts, Eagles, college. He went to UMass, All-American, blah, 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 blah. Dang it, it's got to be in here somewhere. Isaiah Rogers, high school. Where did he go to school in Cincinnati? He went to UMass. This is going to bother me now. What high school did Isaiah Rogers go to? I don't know. Did not know he was from Cincinnati. What high school did Isaiah Rogers go to? South Kent School? Nah, it's another Isaiah Rogers. Dang it. It's going to bug me now. I got to find that out. I want to find out what high school. Now they switched to Isaiah Rogers in the NBA, damn it. Oh, my God. No, it's got to be in there. Isaiah Rogers. Okay, he's from. Wait a minute. Is he from Tampa, Florida? I'm confused. Too many. That's a very common name, but oh well, we'll figure it out. They would have to injury waive McPherson. No, I don't. McPherson. I don't think so. Let me see if I can find that page. Eagles recent. Here we go. Philadelphia Eagles transactions. 321. Devin White. Let's go backwards. Kenny Pickett. CJ Garner Johnson. Saquon. February. This is not the page I was looking at, but this is as close as I can get. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Zach. He because we thought he was going to be like a special teams player. Zach McPherson and yeah, it don't say much about him, so he's getting lost in the sauce. So I don't know what they're gonna do. They might keep him. They might keep him to strictly do special teams. So you never know. It all depends on what Fangio wants to do. That's the other thing we still don't know. We still don't understand. Thank you for that, Dave. If he moved to Cincinnati, that would make sense. But we still don't know what Vic Fangio really wants to do. We got players now. It feels good to be able to say that now. We have players. Our defense looks a hell of a lot better than what it did last year. Hands down. Not very hard to beat, but it's still good to say that. The biggest X factor always, until the problem is solved, is our linebackers. So you can't project what we will or won't do. I'm of the belief that our defense will be that much better by default, just having Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator. Just from that right there. We still got a good defensive line. We're getting our secondary back, at least bolstering them up. And we've made steps to get our linebackers back together. Because our linebackers that's where we were suspect, big time. So, and then of course everything that's going to happen in the draft, because I'm trying very hard not to go down that rabbit hole of mock drafts, but it is hard to do. It is hard to do because the mock draft is telling you one thing, and you see the players that everybody wants, and Edgerrin Cooper, and dang it, what's the guy's name? Is it Wilson? The linebacker from North Carolina State. I've seen Kool-Aid McKinstry. Of course, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to be available, but we're not going to take him. We got some room to play around, and that's why I am hoping Howie can get all of this stuff with Hassan Reddick settled before the draft. So I don't want that hanging over us. So it does. 88s. I'm with you, bro. It does look promising. I predict that the Eagles will go back to the playoffs. I won't say anything about the Super Bowl. I don't like saying, are we a Super Bowl team? Let's be a playoff team first. You got to take, one step in front of the other. Don't put the cart before the horse. So, we could, yeah, Vaughn, you 100%, bro. You are 100%. One trade could just is like a Jenga block that just tilting on you, and everything just falls apart. You are absolutely right. All it takes is one. And you don't know what anybody's going to do. We could still be surprised, and Chicago could trade the pick or something. Who knows? Maybe Chicago trades the pick to the Jets, and they pick up Aaron Rodgers. and give the Jets third pick. I'm making stuff up. So, yeah, take us last year, AJ Brown. Although AJ Brown was mid-season, no. You're right. Nobody saw that coming. You are absolutely correct. Nobody saw that coming. And what was it last year, Vaughn? Everybody thought that Texas was going to take. Was Texas going to take Bryce Young? Or I know there was a lot of subterfuge on who was going to take who. If Carolina was going to take Bryce Young or was, but think about it. I talked about this the other day. If they would have flip-flopped, if CJ Stroud would have went to Carolina, would he have had the same struggles as Stroud was or as Bryce Young was having? Because Carolina's offensive line was just garbage. So Dave's asking me, what am I thinking about playing the Browns in Brazil? First off, I don't like the fact that we got to go to Brazil, but okay. I don't like our week 1 game being in Brazil. That's just basically just the NFL just sticking it to us and, pretending we just puppets. I hate that our first home game has to be away. But as someone who is a veteran of the World League playing overseas, I am quite excited, to be honest with you. The Browns are going to be good, but nobody knows what kind of quarterback the Browns have right now. Yeah, they're going to be good. Good thing that we don't have to deal with them with the defense we had last year. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Vaughn, they're saying the Browns game is not official. Like they haven't signed on the dotted line or something like that. Huh. Okay. Whoever it is, we got to deal with it. But wait a minute, who put that out there? Who put that out there? Who put that out in the ethos? I don't know who did that. I saw the reports. Browns play in Brazil. But I don't know who started that. See, that's why you gotta vet your information, man. That's why you gotta vet. Is the NFL trying to sabotage the Cleveland Browns by potentially sending them to Brazil for week 1? Browns players spark NFL scheduling rumors with the comment about the Brazil game in week 1. The Eagles will be hosting the week 1 game. Will the Browns be their opponent? Okay, so is it not? This is 8 hours ago. Is the NFL trying to sabotage the Cleveland Browns by potentially sending them to Brazil week 1? Why? How is that a sabotage? I don't understand that. I'm missing some context here. Some Browns players are on a podcast. Somebody said it on the. Oh, so it wasn't official, and somebody said it on the podcast. Gotcha. Here we go again about the podcast getting active players in trouble. That's going to be a story almost every week going forward. That's just the lay of the land right now, man. You're not getting away with it. That's just what everybody does. So Browns players was on the podcast, and they started talking. They must know the Penn State head coach. They under investigation. That is funny. I did not know that. Thank you for that update. I did not know that. That is too funny. That is way too funny. I wonder who man, these players and these podcasts, man, they gotta slow it down. They gotta slow it down when you are an active player. It wasn't no Freudian slip. They was running off at the mouths, and they said a little too much. So I keep saying it, man. It's like something new comes out every week. You hear this idiot, Dak Prescott's brother, Tad Prescott. I can't even say that with a straight face. Tad Prescott, T-A-D. Tad Prescott was running his mouth on somebody's podcast. I think it was on I Am Athlete. So it was on Brandon Marshall. And, of course, he wants to throw shade at Jalen Hurts, unprovoked, of course. They asked him to list his top 10 quarterbacks. Now, mind you, here, Tad is big time in his feelings. Here is his top 10 quarterback list. Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, and Joe Flacco. And then whoever he was on the podcast with asked him, said, no Jalen Hurts? And he goes, you said quarterback, not running back. When he got damn Lamar Jackson is number 3, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? So he just wanted to just throw that dig at Jalen Hurts for whatever reason. I didn't understand that. So, but people coming after him. So it is what it is. And he sounds like an idiot. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, oh my God. What did I want to see? What was I looking at? Attempts. I was just trying to see what player stats, splits. I was trying to see exactly how many rushing yards Lamar had. I hate NFL.com. Sometimes it's how many rushing yards did Lamar Jackson have in 2023? Yeah, so he had 821 yards rushing. But he said he don't want to run it back. He's an idiot. He is an idiot. Yeah, I try to stay away from that, man. Dave, here's what I figured out last year, the last 2 years. And I don't know why it took me this long to figure it out. Being on both sides of the locker room, inside and the outside, people that watch the games and people that don't, and you can listen to what they say, and you can kind of discern who has a true understanding of football and the levels that they go, right? But it is very easy to tell right now when you watching the media and whatever your channel of choice is or network of choice is or YouTube channel of choice. Hopefully it's mine. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But who watches film and who doesn't. Who are true football fans and study the game and which ones are a production. And what I mean by production is you can have ex-players and guys that have been on the mic for 30, 40 years, and then you realize there's a bunch of people behind them shoving papers in front of their face. They don't watch the game. They just reading what somebody's feeding them, or they regurgitate what somebody else said. But I don't get too hung up on that, but I am hung up on, like, I hate when people get a lot of traction and you can tell they don't watch the games. It's very easy to figure that out now. And I remember seeing, and I don't know why this set me off, but last season I was watching the 49ers It was preseason. That's what it was. It was preseason. Trae Young was playing, and the 49ers were up and down on Trae Young. They didn't know if they wanted to, what the situation was going to be with Brock Purdy. So they was like, we got to stick Trae Young in there because we done gave up all these draft picks to get him. So that whole thing. And they finally started Trae Young. I believe it was the last preseason game. And he didn't have a bad first half, but it was just okay. And then you know how you get those little stingers that kind of give you a synopsis of the game. And somebody was talking about San Francisco, and they just ripped into Trae Young. Ripped into him. And then Trae Young ended up winning the game. He brought the 49ers back and ended up throwing the winning pass to give San Francisco the W. But the studio or ESPN or whoever it was had already finished bashing them, and clearly they weren't even watching the game. Clearly they didn't even watch the game. So, and again, I don't know why that particular incident triggered me the way that it did, but I was like, none of these dudes watch the games. You look at some of these shows. Now, when you producing the show Monday through Friday, and then a lot of these personalities on these morning shows on Fox and ESPN and all of this stuff, these jokers are going like 6 and 7 days a week sometimes. So my question is, when do y'all have time to watch all these games? Because even if you watch, what's it called? Red Zone on NFL Network, even if you look at the Red Zone, you're still not getting everything you need to really comment on a game. And again, then they come in Monday morning, everybody wants to be Monday morning quarterback, and they all guessing anyways. So it is what it is. But it's too easy to tell nowadays which guys are actually paying attention and which guys are just getting fed information. And there's too many people that are just getting fed information. And the problem is a lot of these people got the biggest platforms. You know good and damn well Skip Bayless don't watch all them games. Colin Cowherd don't watch all them games. Everybody on Speak, Joy Taylor and Shady and Jones and even Acho. But at least Acho can break down some tape. But they don't have enough time to watch all of those games. They can't do it. And give efficient feedback on all of those games. So they just getting fed a bunch of stats and stuff like that. Now, some of those shows stick to what yeah, Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes, Dave. It's Vaughn, what was I saying? Trae Young instead of Trey Lance? My bad. Got that mixed up. My bad. So yeah, man, that's a pet peeve of mine. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So everybody's saying stupid stuff. To your point, Dave, everybody hating on the Eagles. It must be that everybody knows that if you say something about the Eagles fans will respond in mass. And that's going to generate traffic for whoever. And the traffic means money. So that they're going to keep doing that. So it doesn't surprise me that the dude on WFAN with Tiki Barber said something, because that's the back and forth now. Did Tiki Barber ever hook up with Ryan Clark? Ryan Clark is going to be in New York for the next couple of weeks or whatever, because he's filling in for Greeny. So the whole Tiki Barber Ryan Clark feud, I saw the tweet Ryan Clark put out. He was like, I'll be in New York. Let's meet up and we can talk. Now, whether that happens or not, probably won't. But I don't think Tiki want that type of smoke. So, but they'll figure it out, and they'll probably post it on somebody's podcast, or he'll probably come on the Pivot or something like that. Okay, I'm looking at this Cleveland Browns podcast. Did Mo Hurst spill the beans on the Browns in Brazil? So, okay, gotcha. So I'm about to go back and listen to this. It's only 10 minutes long, so it's not that bad. But so apparently he said something that he wasn't supposed to be saying. So it happens, loose lips, sink ships, all that kind of good stuff. That's funny, man. That is hilarious. Not surprising, though, but funny. Big Mouth Dan on the other network says we're a 5 to 6 win team next season. What? Wait a minute. Which Dan you talking about? Big Mouth Dan on the other network says we're a 5 or 6 team next season. You mean the dude from the Fan? Like, come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that. We going to the play. Oh, Dan Sileo? Man, Dan Silio's been on these hot takes lately. One day we're good, and the Howie Roseman's done a good job. The next day, while we signing Devin White. Like, he goes back and forth, and like he hits the highs and the lows, and it's like, are you with us or against us, or like what's going on? So Dan Sileo has a lot of crazy. He's been interesting lately. So he knows a lot of people. That's why I would imagine Jacob Media still rocks with him. But yeah, some of those takes. But hey, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. Lately, in my opinion, he's been kind of bad. So I choose to avoid him. Sileo. That's a good one. That's a good one. Dan Sileo. Oh my God. Bravo. I'm gonna put a star by your name. That's pretty damn good. Dan Sileo. But yeah, man, he's had some pretty interesting takes. And I don't necessarily agree with him, because they're kind of crazy. But we rattle off a couple wins next year. It'll be something else. It's always something. But that seems to get all of the clicks. Nowadays, you got to be controversial, say something borderline disrespectful. Because God forbid you say something disrespectful to the Eagles, and the whole town gonna come after you. So, but that generates the traffic, man. It's all a game right now. I think it'll take a few games to settle in with all new coaches and players. Dave, it does that every year now. But let me tell you why. Because in my estimation, it usually takes 2 to 3 weeks before your body can figure out how to tackle, because they don't tackle in camp no more. They don't do nothing in camp. They don't hit. You got halo helmets and all of that kind of stuff. And 2 teams, Detroit, you saw Detroit set the tone for physical play when they were on Hard Knocks or whatever that was. And he was giving a speech to the players. Dan Campbell and Antonio Pierce. Did you see Antonio Pierce on whatever show that was when he was talking about, was it Dan Patrick show? Where he was talking about he want to put hands on Patrick Mahomes, like we can, don't do nothing illegal, but you can put hands on you, you can bless him. That's how he said it. But that lets me know that he's trying to set a tone right now. And I need to see what Sirianni is going to do in that regard specifically, because our tackling was god-awful last year. We had no fight in us when it came to tackling. Nobody wanted to put anybody on the ground. DBs were coming up. You had all of that nonsense with Slay and Slade was talking about, old boy just, he don't know how to tackle. It's like, man, we knew how to tackle. That's all we did in practice. We banged, and we banged hard. So that was the last thing you needed to worry about, was if we knew how to get somebody on the ground. These boys now, they coming up, everybody's making business decisions. And it's few and far between from the ones that come up and want to be physical with you. How you think CJGJ busted up his shoulder? He was physical. You go back and look in that Super Bowl when we played the Chiefs, and Gardner Johnson put that lick on Pacheco. Pacheco wasn't no good for the rest of the game. Coming up and being physical. Sidney Brown was doing the same thing, although I will say this. Sidney Brown reminded me a lot of Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps was a fast, physical player, but my issue with both of them is they made a lot of tackles with their head down. I'll never forget Marcus Epps came and laid a smack on Christian McCaffrey. And Christian McCaffrey kept his head up and moseyed right on in the end zone. And Marcus Epps came up and popped him good. He didn't wrap up. Sidney Brown was doing the same thing, coming in low, coming in fast, coming in hot, got his heads down, trying to take the legs out. And it's like, in this league, people going to jump, spin, and just, duck out of the way. You got to be able to wrap them up. We looking at this stuff about the possibly changing the rule about the hip toss tackle. Now, I will say this. That tackle is bad. It's weird. I don't necessarily disagree with them trying to get that tackle off, because if you look at old tapes from the 90s, from the 80s, nobody ever hip tackled. Nobody did a hip drop. I don't ever remember seeing that. I'm sure it happened at some point in time, but people weren't trying to do that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I could be wrong, but I just don't remember that. The last thing you want, though, is something else that you got to worry about adjusting to going full speed. And you got 220, 30, or 40 pounds coming at you trying to get you to make a decision. That's the last thing. Well, I can't hit him like this because I got to get on the side. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to think about stuff like that. So I know it is Sydney on a suicide mission. I know it's kind of crazy, but I don't know, man. It is a dangerous way to tackle, but how you gonna give somebody a 15-yard penalty when they get you on the ground? You can't hit nobody anymore. They try to get the rule about targeting, but they just totally forget about, well, what happens if the ball carrier moves his head? If I'm coming at you low or chest high and you move your head and then I hit you helmet to helmet, why am I getting penalized? So I don't know. They got to do something about it, though. They'll try it. Maybe it'll work better. Maybe, I'm sure people can adjust if they really want to. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't matter for us anyways, because we couldn't tackle worth a damn last year. It was not good and not good whatsoever. We were, what did I say a couple weeks ago? Our defense tackled like freshmen. That was not a varsity effort. Our defense tackled like freshmen last season. It was ugly. It's very ugly. And that probably cost us 3 games because we couldn't tackle. It's a damn shame. And then, again, I'm watching NFL Network, and what are they showing? They're showing Chicago and Pittsburgh, I think it was. And they just going on and on about Sean Desai having Chicago. The defense was playing well and all this. And Roquan Smith was running all over the field. And Sean Desai was getting all the props, and how come we couldn't give him the props here? The more I think about that, the more I hate the fact that they made that switch when they made it. Should not have been made. Should not have been made. Fire me at the end of the year if you got to. Not in the middle of the season. Dave is asking me, what is my take on Hassan? I know you want to keep him, and so do I. Do you think Fangio doesn't like him, or is just the money? I think it's just the money, because I think he would be very good in Fangio's defense. I think this is a money thing. He has outplayed his contract. There are too many players that are not as good as him making more money. That is the problem. And I saw on a couple of Facebook groups, you always got them people that hit them comments like he's being greedy. He signed a contract. He should have to play it out. All of that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You're not saying that about a diva wide receiver that outplayed his contract and you want to keep him on the team. You're not saying that about him. You're not saying that about Devontae Smith. He outplayed his rookie contract. Now he wants to renegotiate. Why do you renegotiate? Because you want to keep him with the Eagles. Because he doesn't want to have the reason why athletes do not want to go into the last year of their contract. They want a new contract as soon as they can. They want to renegotiate that last year before they start their last year. Because if they don't and they get injured, they're screwed. Who was the dude for Seattle? When they carted him off the field, he gave old boy the finger, the coach. Who was that got hurt for Seattle that did that? I can't remember who that was. Who was that did that? Seattle. He got carted off the field because he tore his knee, and he was trying to do it the right way. He was a veteran, almost the same situation like Hassan, and he wasn't going to sit out. He was one of the captains of the team, came back, and they tried to, he did the right thing because he wanted to do right by his teammates and the organization. And he got hurt, so he couldn't get his contract. Earl Thomas, thank you. Earl Thomas. And when they carted him off the field, he gave Pete Carroll the finger. Because you knew. In the back of his mind, he was like, this is why I wanted to renegotiate my contract. Because that was his last chance. And he was still playing good ball. That's the key. He was still playing impactful snaps. That is what Hassan, I take that back. Hassan Reddick is still a prime player in this league. He's not playing impactful snaps. Brandon Graham is playing impactful snaps because they got him on a pitch count. Hassan Reddick, you have to game plan Hassan Reddick. How are we going to stop number 7 from coming off that edge? How are we going to? You have to game plan. You're still game planning Hassan Reddick. They're not really game planning Brandon Graham no more. Nolan Smith is an up-and-comer with that speed. So I'm trying to see what the Eagles really want to do and what happens if nobody gives him the money he wants. Howie just is not going to start, dishing out money and making it rain. He's not going to do that. So I would think that he's going to let him stay in Philadelphia, pay him the last year of his contract. Maybe they'll renegotiate something on the 1 year. I'm wondering, could they franchise him? I don't know. I guess anything is possible at this point. But the one thing about Howie, I do believe he's trying to do right by Hassan Reddick. But at the same time, it's got to make business sense. It's got to make business sense. Chicago had a lot of things that they wanted to do until they figured out that everybody wasn't lining up at the door to get Justin Fields. And then Justin Fields had some places that he didn't want to go. So it ends up pretty good for Justin Fields now because it worked out kind of to his favor. But, I mean, Chicago lost on that deal. They lost on the deal. They should have got, what, a second? What did they get from Pittsburgh? What did they get from Pittsburgh? Justin Fields trade. Because they didn't get equal value. Because a lot of people, like right now I'm looking, a lot of members of the team don't like the fact that they traded Justin Fields. Chase Daniel shares candid thoughts on Justin Fields trade. Yeah, so he didn't like it. Ooh, can you imagine Justin Fields backing up Anthony Richardson? Because the Colts were interested. Oof. Yeah, low trade value. See, he got dicked around. He got dicked around. The 4th round. The Bears traded Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a conditional 6th round pick in 2025. That could go up to a 4th rounder, depending on if Fields plays or something like that. Yeah, Cody, you right on the money. So they got the short end of the stick. They got the short end of the stick. The thing with Kenny Pickett doesn't cause any drama. And that's the last thing you want is the drama of Justin Fields coming here. I don't blame Howie Roseman. After everything that just happened with Carson Wentz, I wouldn't expect him to go down that road again. And the difference is now you also got to look at the money. It didn't really make business sense. You got 2 years with Kenny Pickett. If he wants to play out his rookie contract, that's the key. He's got to play out his rookie contract. Then what happens? Is he going to try to renegotiate next year, or is Kenny Pickett going to try to go into the last year of his rookie contract? Is he going to play it all the way out? Either way, it's a win for the Eagles because the price isn't high. Justin Fields, if we get Justin Fields, you got 1 year, and then you got to crap or get off the pot. He's not going to play unless Jalen gets hurt. That's not a good situation anyways. But at the end of next year, he has to get a new deal. So I would take Kenny Pickett because I think for the next 2 years, I think we have to pay him less than $4 million for 2 years. So I thought it was a good deal. I still think Tanner McKee is better, but we'll see. We'll see. Because you can't, and I got to catch myself from saying that so much because anything that we had coming off of last year, all of that stuff is blown out of the water because we have a new offensive coordinator and we have a new defensive coordinator. So if I'm thinking Tanner McKee is still pretty good as a backup, that was under a offense, Brian Johnson's offense. And this ain't Brian Johnson's offense. What happens if he struggles under Kellen Moore's offense? So you gotta wipe the slate clean when you get new coordinators, because it's difficult sometimes to learn a new system. We learn that the hard way when these idiots try to do that mid-season. And not for nothing, when I was watching that video today of the Bears and the Steelers a couple years ago, it was Ben Roethlisberger was still playing. So, but it was Bears defense was flying all over the field. And every other play, they were, but the telecast was talking about Sean Desai. Getting the people where they need to be, Sean Desai, his defense, all of that kind of stuff. So going back and looking at what happened last year, I don't think there was any reason why you should have took them duties away from Sean Desai. Should not have happened. There's no way it shouldn't have happened. What they should have done was, if you can make that decision, then you could have made a damn decision to sit Bradbury's behind down, because he was playing like crap. So you can make the decision for a coach, but you can't even make the decision for a player where the film tells you what he could and couldn't do. I don't know what his situation was. I don't know if he was hurt or did his skills just fall off a cliff. I have no earthly idea. All I know is when we played Seattle, the last 7 or 8 plays, they ran at James Bradbury and they caught all the passes to go down the field and win that damn game. And for all of this, the mess they were talking about, Jalen Hurts ain't backpedaling. Jalen Hurts is not play cover 2 or man-to-man. No, that's not on. He don't play defense. So whatever they was doing just straight up wasn't working, period. And we look damn god-awful. And I remember the Miami game, and I remember the Rams game where we were getting lit up in the first half, and Sean Desai tightened it up in the second half, and we held them scoreless in the second half. Puka Nacua didn't do nothing. Common sense stuff, man. Our season went down the tubes because we weren't making common sense decisions. And that's, Our team was not that bad last year. Our defense was, but remember, our defense was bad because the injuries just killed us. Injuries in the secondary killed us. Nakobe Dean goes down, killed us. Then we bring in Moreau. Then we bring in whatever his name was that wanted to build houses and then changed his mind and then ended up playing for Pittsburgh. We brought in Edmonds for a hot second. He was in and out. So that turnover couldn't build any continuity, nothing like that. And then on top of all of that mess, we changed defensive coordinators. Like, what the hell? Common sense stuff, man. We can't make those. We had a prime opportunity to get our stuff together and make another. We should have been in there back to back. We should have been in there back to back. Couldn't get it right. Could not get it right, man, and it ended up costing us. And you can't tell me if the Eagles would have been playing. And I know it's bitching and moaning and stuff, but if you look at that Super Bowl and you look at San Francisco and you look at the Chiefs, if the Eagles had been playing the way we know that they know how to play, we should have beat either one of those teams that played in that game, because both teams were garbage in the Super Bowl. The only difference is Patrick Mahomes showed up when he had to, but he didn't have a good game. He was just Superman in overtime. And Kyle Shanahan, the genius offensive guru that he is, choked in the biggest moment. At least Dan Campbell was consistent. And I ain't got no beef with Dan Campbell, because at the end of the day, when they went for that fourth down to seal the game, he called the right play. The dude dropped the ball and hit him in the hands. What else can you do? That dude catches the ball on that 3rd and 5 or whatever it was. Game over. They gave the ball right back to San Francisco, and I can't remember if they tied it or they took the lead. But it just totally flip-flopped the momentum. And again, you go back and you look at Shanahan, man, that's 2 years in a row that you couldn't figure out that your damn tight end cannot block a defensive end. You couldn't figure that out 2 years in a row. You made the same mistake. You made the same mistake. And the pressure made Purdy throw the ball early for an incomplete pass when you had a man open. Genius. So even guys like that, guys like Shanahan, that's great that they smart and they got, the X's and O's, and they the mad scientists in the lab making up all of these plays. That's great. But in the biggest of the games, you choke. You choke. Your team didn't understand the rules of overtime. You choked. Our offense put on one of the greatest performances in Super Bowl history, going back and forth, with the exception of our 2017 win. People don't talk about 2017 enough, in my opinion. Do y'all realize we took Tom Brady's best shot? Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards in that game, and Nick Foles took it to him. We took Brady's best shot and beat him. We didn't get lucky. They didn't fumble the ball. None of that. We didn't get help from refs. None of that. We went toe-to-toe. And Foles came out on top. And let's be honest, he shouldn't have even gotten that Hail Mary off. If Brandon Graham hadn't been going a little bit too fast, he should have got the sack, or it'd have been another fumble, a strip sack. Like, I don't think people really understand that Tom Brady, the GOAT, threw for over 500 and lost. We had it together. We can get back to that spot. Jalen Hurts put on a performance, but what's the cliche? Defense wins championships. And we had none. We had none. The one time you do something different because you've been doing the same thing all year, and teams would expect you to do that, and we didn't do anything different. And Mahomes in the second half, they lit us up. They lit us up. So, I mean, here's the thing with that, man. And I got to be realistic about it. Because you can't have it both ways. Yes, Nick Sirianni can be a loudmouth. Yes, he's got a temper and the whole Italian stereotype that goes with that. Yes, it's immature when you hollering back and forth at fans in the stands because something they said to you, or you feeling some kind of way, and you did that for Frank because they fired Frank. And yeah, that's annoying. But you know what? He did that annoying on the way to the Super Bowl. So if he was like that, at least he consistent. He is what he is. He ain't trying to hide nothing. He is what he is. And what he is took us to the Super Bowl. So everybody want to rag on him because, well, what kind of coach is he going to be now? And he's a lame duck coach. And it's like, do y'all study history? Did y'all look at what Dan Reeves did? Did y'all look at what who am I trying to think of? Belichick. Belichick didn't call plays, did he? That was because what was that year? The year they won the Super Bowl and he lost like 3 coordinators because everybody was cherry picking, just like they did with us, just like they did with San Francisco. So I think it was Matt Patricia. It was yeah, we get it. We get into that a little bit. As far as players taking on the coach's attitude, as far as aggression and physicality, that's something that has to be. That's what I was talking about earlier, where you got to set the tone, like Antonio Pierce and like Dan Campbell. So you start that, in camp, or you start it now, like Antonio Pierce, going on national TV, talking about he want to put hands on Patrick Mahomes because he knows Patrick Mahomes is the guy you got to beat. So you know what? Legally, let's put hands on him. What he's basically telling his team is, I want you to beat the hell out of him every chance you get. Legally, do it within the rules, but put his ass on the ground. That's what he's telling his people. So don't be surprised if the Las Vegas Raiders come out in 2024 and they just become the Raiders of old. Raiders used to have a stigma about them because they would like beat you up, steal your lunch money. That they had that attitude and they had that mystique about them. The autumn wind is a Raider. John Facenda. Look it up. So you can't teach that when the season starts. It's got to start from day one. It's got to start now when you're in the weight room. And Antonio Pierce did it. That was perfect, man. That was perfect. That's the guy you want to play for. And I'm not saying that Sirianni isn't, because from what I've heard and the things that I've seen, the biggest reason why our locker room didn't split during the season last year was because of Sirianni. Because Sirianni is such a good players coach and he's good at cultivating relationships. And let's be honest, and I'm saying this as a player. Let me switch from fan to player now. As a player, it is very difficult not to like Sirianni. That's the kind of guy you want to run through the wall for, because he's a family man and he want to talk to you where you live at your level. And he seems to me like the kind of guy that would go out of his way to help you out. Those are the kind of guys that you want to play for. Those are the kind of guys that you want to. And here's when I saw this. Jalen Hurts made a comment about getting in the playbook and wanting to study and wanting Nick to stay late at the stadium to study film. And Jalen made the comment that he had to call Mrs. Sirianni to let her know it was his fault. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. That he called, if it is true, he did it as a joke, like apologizing, Miss Sirianni, it's my fault that he ain't making it home for dinner, knowing that this man has kids. The point I'm trying to make is that when you are tied that much in a relationship with your coach and you have influence, you have sway with their external family, their immediate family, but I say external because they're not in the locker room. But he's a family man. He got the little ones. He's always got his kids up at the podium. He's that type of dude. And you can go tell his wife that her husband's going to be home late because we studying film. And she understands. You don't get that unless there is a good relationship between the players and the coaches, period. Nick Sirianni, like him or hate him, is the reason why our locker room did not split during that BS last 7 games. He's the one that held that together. So we'll see what's going to happen this coming year when he's the CEO coach. And again, you look at, Tom Landry, Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, Dan Reeves, George Seifert. You look at all of those Hall of Fame coaches from back in the day, Don Shula, all of them guys wasn't calling plays. They were not calling plays. They got too much to worry about on the field. You got to get good help. Yeah, Andy took Gannon behind the woodshed. So, yeah, you need help, man. You definitely need help. Let me see what we got. We got 97 people on the YouTubes, and we got 78 people rocking with us in the Twitter space. And we got 3 people in the Facebooks. So that's a pretty good day. So we rocking 175 people, technically 178 if you count the 3 on Facebooks. So that's a good day. Good night's work. So we talked about that. Is Justin Simmons still in play? Yes. The situation with Justin Simmons is they are waiting because Justin Simmons, and honestly, I think the same thing is happening with Hassan Reddick. The longer they wait, the lower his price gets because that's the market. They are seeing in real time what happened to C.J. Gardner-Johnson when we lost him the first time when he decided to go to Detroit. C.J. Gardner-Johnson named his price, and let me be honest with you, I didn't get mad at that because he balled out. That dude missed 5 games and still led the league in interceptions, or was tied for the lead. So he named his price. The problem was, and again, you can't hate on Howie because this was a smart business move. Pause. Let me see what the market says. I know you asking for this much, but the market says you're only right here. You go to any other team, see how much they'll give you. Then we'll talk. That's how you set the market. That's why he gave Hassan Reddick permission to seek a trade so he could test the market. That's a smart business move by Howie. Howie is the Wizard of Philadelphia. Don't get it twisted. He knows what he's doing. If there had been other teams that was going to give him $24 and $25 million, he would have walked by now. He would have took that money because Howie wasn't going to match that. I still think that he will be either in Atlanta or possibly Baltimore. But I think Atlanta is first in the clubhouse right now. But the longer this goes, the lower the value goes. So eventually, what's going to happen is either somebody will give him the money he wants, or Howie Roseman will say, this is what we feel we're worth, what you're worth. Compare that to what everybody else is offering, take it or leave it. And he'll have a decision to make. Then it goes to the next layer. Do you want to win or do you want the bag? Hassan Reddick wasn't with us when we won the Super Bowl, so he has no chip. He doesn't know if he'll have an opportunity to go or get back to that spot again. That's why CJ Gardner-Johnson came back with us. Why wouldn't you try to stay in Detroit? Y'all just went. Y'all should have. Detroit's in that Super Bowl. They win it. They win it. So to be that close, are they going to have the same hangover that everybody talks about? Is San Francisco? Brandon Ayuk is trying to get up out of there. He doesn't like what he sees. He's trying to get his bag. So what are they going to do when Hassan Reddick gets to that point? And it's all about the time. The longer you wait, the more you will see what everybody's willing to pay you. And how he's going to sweep in, and how he's going to be looking like this. That's how Howie's going to look. All right, you go ahead. Go ahead and see how much money you can get. And the sad reality of it is there's not much Hassan Reddick can do. It doesn't pay players to hold out. Look at what Saquon tried to do a couple years ago in New York, and it didn't work out for him. They put him on a franchise, and he didn't get the contract he wanted. They gave it to Daniel Jones. Good luck with that. Now he's here with us. So the guys that, and I guess this is the reason why I always feel bad about it. Hassan Reddick did it the right way. He didn't make a fuss during the season when people asked him about it. He deflected and said, that'll take care of itself when it's time for that. He deflected, and he didn't have to. And now, when you do everything you're supposed to do the right way, and it's your time to go through the child line, and now they withholding from you in your own city, where you from, that's bad business. But it's business nonetheless. So I'm hoping this get worked out some way, somehow, some way. If he ends up staying here, I hope somehow, some way, how we can redirect money or somehow give him some super easy incentives. It wouldn't be the first time stuff like that has happened, but that's what I see. Give him some super crazy, maybe take his roster bonus to 3 or 4 million. So his overall intake will put him at, 22, 23 million or something like that. People do that. All teams do that all the time. I'm not going to give you the contract you want, but I'm going to pay you a little less. However, I'm going to give you a $3 million bonus every time you tie your shoelaces. So there's ways it can get done. But, again, I feel bad for Hassan Reddick because he's doing it the right way. He went out there, played, and he balled. It ain't like a Robert Quinn situation. Got here and was just stealing money because he didn't even sniff the quarterback. So, and I still think, honestly, that Hassan Reddick, the way he takes care of himself, he got another 2-3 years, good years left. I can see him getting, maybe he won't get 10, 11, maybe he won't get double-digit sacks. But I can see him getting anywhere between 7 to 10. That still puts him in the upper echelon or the top rung of edge rushers. Puts him in that category at 30 years old. So look at the production. It's the only difference. What's the difference between risk and potential? It's the same thing. They just spell it differently. Risk is for somebody that's over 30. Potential It's for somebody that's coming off their rookie contract. The guy that's 30 years old, he's got track records. We know what his history is. We know the probability that he's going to do X, Y, or Z is pretty good. A young player still trying to prove themselves. Are they worth this money? Are they going to live up to this contract? Risk and potential is the same thing. It's all about how it plays out and how it manifests on that particular player. Dave, Huff and Hassan, pick your poison. You got a game plan, both of them. And that's why I want to see that's why I want to see him still here. I want to see what Fangio does with him. Noah Gill, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in the chat before, but I appreciate you stopping by, bro. Please become a regular. Parris is pretty useless. Why? He had, you know what? I looked this up. I'm glad you brought that up. I got his stats. Let me see. Got his stats. Let's switch up real quick. Can I switch up? Hold on. Let me see if I can switch up, bring y'all in. Okay. Didn't do much last year. Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt? $12 games, so I don't know if he was inactive or something like that, but he had a decent year in 22 with the Colts. That was his best year in 22. And then 23, he just didn't, maybe he got lost in the sauce. I don't know. I know what? I know he's got blazing speed. I know I looked up his tapes. He ran a low 4.3 at the combine. So he got speed. He got over the top speed that is as good or better than Quez Watkins. So he's got good speed, man. I think Quez is out. I would rather see them keep Oz than Quez, and I don't think Oz might stick around. Yeah, trash can quarterbacks. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I like him. He can take the top off. He runs the slot. I like his size, and he's 5 years younger than Devontae Parker. So I'm good with that right now. I think he'll be fine. And again, the X factor is we don't know how Kellen Moore is going to use him. Oh damn! I done started the mock draft. My bad. We don't know how Kellen Moore is going to use him. So I like him. I like the signing. Devontae Parker, honestly, I would have rather have kept Julio Jones, to be honest with you. Somebody just took Quez's 16. Was that him to do that? Because I know in New York, was he was a 0. So I know as Huff has got that now. So it is what it is. Still cool though. But I think Quez is gone. I think Boston Scott might be gone. Here is all of the signings we've had. So obviously Saquon Barkley, Bryce Huff, Zach Bond, Matt Hennessy, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Oren Burks, Devin White, Devontae Parker, Tyler Hall, Kenny Pickett, PJ Mustifer, and also don't forget Tyrion Davis-Price, that running back that we got from San Francisco. Another big back. He's the same size as Saquon, just not as fast and explosive. So we got big backs in that can pick up blitz. because let's just say that Saquon at 6 foot, they got him listed at almost 230, like 229, but let's say he's 220, 225. And I think him and Tyrion Price are roughly the same size. I do believe Tyler Hall is going to make the team because he's a nickel corner that can play. So, yes, I agree with you 100%. I do think that he is going to make the team. Plus, we need, especially after last year, we need all the help we can get for depth in our secondary. Our secondary was pretty decent last year until we started getting hurt. Avonte Maddox went down. I think Blankenship got hurt. Don't know what the hell was going on with Bradbury. And that was like a revolving door. Signing Kevin Byard, and then the linebackers was getting hurt and couldn't tackle. Then Moreau got hurt. Kobe Dean got hurt again. Then he came back. Then it wasn't the same. Yeah, we need to get some stability on our defense, and we'll be okay. So it's not as bad. I do not think that we are in as bad a shape. Even on defense, we are not in as bad a shape as we think we are. Cody K says he wants to do a mock draft. We can do a mock. Let's do that. Hold on. Let me bring you in. We can do a mock. All right. Let us do let me see. Is this the one I did yesterday? So we're gonna do Caleb Williams, blah blah blah, lackety schmackety. Let me see. So Philadelphia Eagles. Let's do an auto draft, just so we don't have to go through it. Let's see what the computers pick first, and then we'll try it. We'll try it next. Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver. See, nah. Why would we take a wide receiver first? Peyton Wilson, I can agree with. Another edge rusher. See, this is the stuff that, like, I'll be wondering, like, what do these computers be thinking about? Why would we pick a wide receiver first? It doesn't make sense. Got a safety. I'm predicting Tyler Hall is going to make the team, Dave. Josh Newton. Okay, Brian Thomas, wide receiver from LSU. Peyton Wilson, Chris Braswell, James Williams, Dwight McLaughlin, Dadrian Taylor Demerson. Good grief. And Josh Newton. And let me tell you why this draft is not a good one. Because we don't have one offensive lineman. And you know Howie's going to take an offensive lineman. So, yeah, no. Nope. So let's do it again. We're going to do it again. Do it. We will do 5 rounds. We will do fast. And let's enter the draft room. And this time, we're going to take our pick. So let us see what we can do. All right, so I have one trade offer for Green Bay, and all I would have to do is to drop 3 spots to the 25th pick, and I get another first round pick, a second round pick, and a third round pick. All right, let's skip this, and then we'll do that on the next go round. So, first pick, we had 22. We got Fashanu, offensive tackle, Penn State. Cooper DeJean, Troy Fontenot, Jackson Powers Johnson, offensive line. Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama, Tyler Guyton. How do you pronounce this? Des Moines Robinson. Add Mitchell though. Woof. Graham Barton. Yeah, we're not getting a wide receiver though, man. I just don't see it. I mean, Xavier Worthy. That speed. All right. You like Jackson Powers Johnson? Offensive. I guess that's supposed to be offensive guard. IOL. I never heard IOL before. But okay. That's not our suggestion. Because I mean, technically, maybe we should get the offensive tackle from Penn State because we got to get somebody that's going to take over for Lane Johnson when he leaves. Jackson Powers Johnson. Hold on for a second. Let me make sure. Powers Johnson. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, he's listed. I guess was he a center too? So I guess if he's an interior offensive lineman, that means center guard, or they can just play him anywhere. Yeah. So okay. So the reason why I would turn that down, Cody, is because we already got Cam Jurgens. Move back to get Nate Wiggins. I could see that. I mean, we could. I'm gonna go to big tackle, man. I'm gonna go to big tackle because I got a feeling we still gonna get some. Carolina's trying to move up to get Edge Cooper. Nope. And guess what? We got him. Edgerrin Cooper, Peyton, either one. That's why if our second pick and they are still available, we got to take that, man. Edge Cooper or Peyton Wilson. I'm going Edge Cooper. 4 different trade offers. You know what? I'm gonna take this. Move back a spot. I'm gonna take this trade. Now I'm on the clock. Now we got 54. So all we did was drop a spot, and we got an extra pick. So, so I could get another linebacker, but I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid. Saint Ristil, Cooper Beebe, Trey Benson. Braden Fisk. Get D lineman. Cornerback. What are you thinking? I'm gonna go with we just got another safety too. Tyler Nubin. Cornerback. So we're set until pick 120. Yeah, it is going to take a few people to fill in Cox's role. Johnny Wilson, Andrew Phillips, Javon Baker, Cedric Gray, Audric Estime. I saw that guy run today. You know what? I'm going to get another offensive lineman. So we are in the 5th round. No more picks. Wide receiver Malik Washington. Running back edge Ray Davis. 56. I could. For some reason, I'm thinking Howie's going to give up these picks. He's definitely going to give up these picks. Get a defensive lineman. Yeah. It's hard to get a gist because you never really know what Howie's going to do. You never really know what Howie's going to do. And all of this stuff could change because what happens if we do excuse me. What happens if we do trade give Hassan up around draft day and get a couple of picks, and then he flips those picks to move up and things like that. So that's the kind of stuff that the simulator really can't really get correct. So let's go one more time. Let's restart. And I'm going to let the computer do it. Let the computer go all day with it. I think Howie really wants to see if there's a way we can get. You know what? His name gets lost in the sauce too. Patrick Surtain, PS2. But I agree with you. I agree with you. So we'll go Philly again. This will be the last one. Oh hell no, not slow. Be here all night. Auto draft. Start. Every time I do this, we end up with Kool-Aid McKistry. Every time I do this, we end up with that same dude. Kool-Aid McKistry, Peyton Wilson. So we got a good linebacker. There they go getting a wide receiver again. Drafting the see now they're not looking. Offensive lineman, okay. Got the guy from Texas A&M with a C grade. Yeah, see, I'm not sure of this. Tyrone Tracy Jr., a running back. No, we're not gonna draft a running back. Say, I want to try another one. He just ran fast as hell with a hurt foot. Kool-Aid can ball. I don't mind. They're not gonna do. We're not gonna have like they're not gonna get another safety when we just drafted Sidney Brown and we got CJ Gardner-Johnson coming back, and Reed Blankenship is gonna be healthy. So I don't see them getting like drafting another safety. I could be wrong. I just don't see that. Because with them getting Hall from Las Vegas, he's a nickel, he's a corner and a slot corner. He's a nickel and a slot corner, which makes me kind of think that CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to be playing safety with Reed Blankenship. Now, here's the question. If that is the case, and he's back there with Reed, what happens with Sidney Brown? Because Reed is the undrafted free agent. But Reed's got the most snaps, though. So how would they work that? Are they going to move? Is Fangio going to move CJ over and Reed Blankenship is going to go on the bench? Yeah, it's a lot of decisions that they got to make. Lots of decisions. Because depending on who they want to play and where will determine what they're going to do, if they will even get another safety or like just go for corner or stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ways they can go with that. And again, we don't know what Howie's going to do as far as trading picks. And he might stand pat and somebody else might come his way for a trade up or a trade down. So you never know how this is going to work out. But like sometimes the way this thing does it, it's like, nah, like you got it wrong. But you never know. You never know. it's a big time crapshoot. I know that much. Big time crapshoot. Everybody's guessing, so don't nobody know what the heck is going to go on. We don't know how it's going to manifest. Oh, Dave, Chop Robinson, bro. That's a man that improved his stock, his draft stock. Because that dude put on a damn show at the combine camp. Chop Robinson was that dude in Indianapolis. He put everybody on notice. Everybody on notice. Chop Robinson reminded me of what's the guy from Detroit? Hutchinson. Hutchinson had a really good workout and opened a lot of eyes. And when he got his opportunity in Detroit, man, he killed it. That joker was destroying everybody, getting to the football. A 24-year-old rookie, he can still ball. But I like Edge's size. But Wilson's gonna get he's gonna be okay. Edge Cooper is 6'3", 230. 6'3", 230. So he can put on a couple pounds. Maybe 235. But I'm saying that Edge Cooper is fast. Trot Jr. is fast. Wilson is a little bit taller, I believe. Peyton Wilson is... Why does Peyton Wilson look like Dallas Goedert's little brother? Y'all ever notice that? Look. Tell me he don't look like Dallas Goedert. Tell me he don't look like Dallas Goedert. But let me see. Peyton Willis. Peyton Wilson. He is 6'4", 233. So about an inch taller and same size, same weight. He ran a 6'3", 2. And what did Edge run? Combine Live event info tracker. Let me see. Linebacker. Jeremiah Trotter. Next gen stats. Good. Live results. 40-yard dash. Linebacker. Peyton Wilson ran a 4.43. Edgerrin Cooper ran a 4.5. And Cedric Gray, 4.64. Looks like didn't run. I thought he did run. I thought Trot Jr. did run a 40 time, but I don't think it doesn't look like he did. But at 4.43, at that size, you did not call that dude the Geico K, man. Come on, man. You wrong for that, Dave. Funny, but wrong. Okay, Peyton Wilson, 4.43. Let me see. Trotter. Is he in there? I guess he's not. I guess he didn't. Interesting. Yeah, this is not no bueno. Nate Wiggins. I wouldn't mind Nate Wiggins if we get him. A good cornerback, a good fast cornerback. I need somebody that can run. And that's the thing with a lot of these fast linebackers. And I say this all the time: they can run, but can they cover? And when you 6'4", you're not covering, because covering just means I need you to be able to change directions, open and close your hips when you're running with a receiver, and be able to drive on the ball. 4-4-3, you can run with anybody. Covering is a whole different skill set. Yeah, Chopper's a big dude, man, but that joker was rolling up out of there, man. That was impressive. Chop's workout was impressive. Like he did it. Who you saying is Miles Mike alike? Chop? And Chop ran what, a 4.53 at his size? So that's pretty daggone fast. Defensive tackle, Braden Fisk. 4.78. What is he listed as? A defensive end? Chop Robinson, 4.48. God, dog. Dallas Turner, though. How big is Dallas Turner? 247. So he's more of a linebacker. That's who you need, like in the middle. Yeah, Chop's a little bit bigger. We'll see what they do, though. We'll see what they do. It's a lot of good defensive edge rushers and defensive tackles, man. So the likelihood of us making a better decision is very high. So I think we're in good shape. They've already done the homework. I'm sure Big Dom has done all of his investigating. So yeah, I think we're in good shape. So, but hey, man, it is what it is. But how long we been rolling? Man, we've been rolling for almost 2 hours, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate y'all hanging with me, man. We are at 107 on the YouTubes, and we are at 92 in the Twitter space. I was hoping we could get up to triple digits on Twitter, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still working it. We're still going. What's good, Bet on Yourself Media? You just jumping in? Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in and checking on me, though. You think we make an offer for Justin Simmons before the draft? I would like to see put some type of deal together, a Justin Simmons / Hassan Reddick trade, because they both, Justin Simmons is what, 31? So that's possible. It's possible. So we'll see. We'll see how he does. We got time. We got a whole nother month. And I don't think it's going to hang around for a month. I don't think it is. I think a 1-year deal is what Hassan might end up getting. I know he's trying to get a 2 or 3 year deal because this is his last opportunity for a big payday. So, but we don't always get what we want. So we'll see how it's going to work out, man. But I think I'm about to slide out of here, man. Y'all been hanging with me for almost 2 hours, man. Listening to me talk. I appreciate it, though. Has anybody filled out any brackets? That's what I meant to ask. That's on my list, but I didn't get to it. I filled out a bracket for the women's 64 tourney. I did not do the men's. I have not been watching men's. I've been watching all women's college basketball all year, so I filled out brackets for the women. South Carolina is my pick to win it all. South Carolina versus Iowa in the finals. I think LSU is going to get upset in the Elite Eight, and SC is going to have a good run. So, South California, Southern California is going to have a good run with Juju Watkins. Tennessee is going to surprise some people. Ole Miss is going to surprise some people. But if you want to join, I made a Pro Fan Talk group on the ESPN bracketology thing. So if you want to fill out a bracket for the women, put it in my group, man. Just having some fun with it. I'm not putting money yet. I'm not getting too serious on it. So I'm gonna be dropping a video clip that I produced. I'll probably drop it sometime late tonight, and it'll debut in the morning, the first day of the tourney. So, but that'll be fun, man. But I'm all for the basketball. I'm hoping Dawn Staley can bring it home. I want to see either her or Caitlin Clark and Iowa win it, because it'd be a shame that Caitlin Clark broke all these records, but she could never get the national title. So we'll see what happens and see how this works. But I appreciate y'all hanging with me. As usual, please subscribe, click on that notification bell so you know when I go live. My schedule is changing a little bit. Okay. So what I'm doing is, so here's what it is. I'm going to have on my social media, on my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all of that kind of stuff, I'm going to start putting my schedule out so you can get used to it. So here's the deal. So my show Live at Lunch, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Live at Lunch. I go from 12:10 to 12:50. Just enough time so you can listen to me on your lunch break, and I'll be done so you can finish your food, wash your hands, and get clocked back in. So Live at Lunch is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting at 12:10 p.m. All right? Then I go Monday night. Mondays with Marcus is at 9:30 p.m. Tonight, Pro Fan Talk is at 7. And then tomorrow night, Friday Night Live, will also be at 9:30. So that's my weekly schedule. I will have that posted so you can tell all your friends. Still trying to break them records, man. So my goal now is my personal best is, I got 109 right now, but the personal best, I believe, was 116. So we're close. I like when we're averaging above 100. I want to get triple digits. So my new goal is to get 150. So I got to get 150 viewers on at one time. I'm talking just on YouTube. Now, right now in the Twitter space, I'm at 93. So collectively, we're talking about 200. All right. So the new goal is, I still haven't reached triple digits on Facebook. I'm sorry, on Twitter. And I want to get 150 on YouTube. So those are the new bars I'm setting for myself. So I'm doing some new things on Facebook, in my Facebook group. My Facebook group is also called Pro Fan Talk. And I'm talking to people on the West Coast. And I'm trying to get other people involved. So if you know people on the other side of the country that want to join the chat, and I'm working on trying to figure out a way how we can do like call-ins and stuff like that. And maybe not even call-ins, because just by listening to the information and the stuff that goes on during the week, like I might have people like record like a FaceTime. You got 20 seconds to ask a question. And I might start taking some questions and I might have to do a little bit of producing, but I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys more involved with the stream, because it's fun to have a conversation with people and actually talk with people and different things like that. So I'm working on it. I am efforting, and we're going to keep this thing moving. Every day I'm trying to get better, be better than yesterday, not as good as tomorrow, man. That's what I used to tell my kids at GT. So I will take my own advice, and we're going to keep on moving. I'm trying to delay. I'm trying to keep talking because I'm hoping I'm at 95 on Twitter, and I'm hoping I can break that triple digit just in my dismount. But I'm not gonna wait around. We hit the 2 hour. I'm at 2 hours and 5 minutes. So it's been a good run tonight, man. I appreciate you guys. Great show tonight. Great show. I'm gonna keep on doing the drafts, the mock drafts. I'm gonna find some different websites, maybe make it a little bit cleaner. And I'm also going to do a round by round synopsis of my brackets. Tell you who won, who lost. I'm gonna try to keep up with that as the tournament goes. So that should be fun. And so look, keep checking the channels. Click that notification bell. So every time I get something new, you will be privy to it. So we gonna keep it moving and keep it going. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you tomorrow night, 9:30. Be there, be square. I'm out. Go Birds.